here's the stage that happened. And this is what I'll be casting as part of the second book. Dr. Ambedkar did not draft the constitution. It was drafted by Benegal Nursing He prepared the draft constitution, shared it with the drafting committee. The drafting committee was
Matshyanayam Udbhavati Baliyan Avalandhi Grasate Dandadhara Bhave.
Have you all heard of Matsya-Nyaya? In the olden days, the world was like a pond. There were fishes, big fishes, small fishes, even smaller fishes. There was no order, no rule of law. The big fishes ate the small fishes. Survival was the dharma. So all the people got together and found themselves a state. And the state ensured that law was obeyed to. There was also another school of thought. In that thought, in that world, everything was so good and so nice. It was a golden age, and all were equal, but slowly things changed. Things fell apart, and soon order gave way to disorder. Then all the people came together and elected for themselves a leader. That is how state came into being in this school of thought. That is how law came into being in this school of thought. That is exactly what the Western thought on state and law also have propounded. This is not much different from what Hobbes and Rousseau said. Indian Constitution is a culmination of the best of Indian thought, but it also included every other important idea on law from all over the world. Nevertheless, it is still important to have conversations on the Constitution. What conversations can happen on the Constitution? What conversation can happen between a father and a daughter on Constitution? Have you ever talked to your children about rule of law? Have you asked your parents about what law means to you? Do we have these conversations at all?
Pooja. I've never heard this name before.
That's because she's a new girl in school. You know, she only came to school like a month ago, and she's already acting like she owns the place. Even the teachers are playing along with it. And if that's not bad enough, even like I will get this weird punishment. What am I supposed to do?
What punishment?
Supposed to read the preamble of the Constitution and explain it to the class. And it doesn't even make sense. Like, it's completely outdated. Why are we still reading this?
Well, there must be a reason why your teachers chose this particular form of punishment.
Maybe because it's the hardest and most nonsensical way to know it.
Aditi, calm down, calm down. We all go through these emotions. Why don't we do our thing? Close your eyes, count from 1 to 10. You'll feel better.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Happy?
Well, your teacher, Mr. Mohandas, he called me earlier today and told me what happened. I just wanted to hear it from you.
Why would you do that? Like, literally, you already know the story and then you ask me again?
Let's not focus on the whys, let's not focus on me, let's focus on you. Mr. Mohandas, you always mention that he's a very fair person, he's a good teacher, impartial, takes care of you like his own daughter. So what happened suddenly? Why do you think he punished you?
Maybe I'm wrong about Pooja?
Well, my dear, in a lot of situations in life, there are no absolute rights or wrongs. But you cannot hurt your classmate. And you most certainly cannot call another human being a termite. I also heard you used words like cockroach, weirdo. That's not my attitude. That's just not you. It's not done. Just because you disagree with someone, just because you do not like somebody, doesn't mean that person doesn't have an equal say in this world, right? Well, you, me, Pooja, we all share the same space. And that's perhaps what the preamble means by equality.
But why would the preamble talk about equality in the first place?
Because, my dear, it was not always a given. When the British ruled us, they never treated us as their equal. Remember this movie that we saw the other day? What was it called? Sardar Udham. There was a brutal massacre in the movie, and I remember you were crying after watching it. You remember that one?
Jallianwala Bagh?
Absolutely, yeah. If our imperial rulers thought we were their fellow human beings, would they have mercilessly murdered us like dogs?
Oh, no.
Well, sometimes words like equality are thrown around so many times here and there. They tend to lose their meaning. But Aditi, you must understand. It took a long journey for us to even get to these words.
What do you mean? Why would the preamble, why is it so obvious?
What do you mean?
I mean, we, the people of India, of course the people of India would be writing the Indian Constitution.
Well, there is a history to it. A long time ago, Indian Constitution was written by a group of people. Do you know how many Indians were among them?
Maybe about 15 to 20?
You'd be surprised to know, not even a single Indian was among them. Given that context, don't you think we, the people of India, makes more sense?
Yeah.
Well, be that as it may, look at these 4 words right here. Justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. These 4 words are the very essence of our Constitution. They define what we stand for as a people.
But they are just daily life words.
Daily life words.
I mean, come on, equality. Of course I know it's just a daily life word. I hear you complain to mom literally every single day that you do the same amount of work for the same amount of time with the same amount of hard work. all just like your superiors, but you don't get the same amount of respect. So isn't it just that? A word?
Well, oftentimes it's just a word. But it can be better.
What do you mean it can be better?
How do I explain this to you? Look at this word right here. Fraternity.
It's just another word.
You might want to think so, you might believe so, but I'm sure you have felt it.
When?
Remember a few years ago when those terrible floods struck Kerala? We were so worried about the safety of your grandparents. The mobile network was down, we tried to reach out to them, couldn't get through. Eventually, when the mobile networks were restored, we called them and we got to speak to them. What did we find?
What did we find?
I mean, how did they get by? How did they survive?
Well, the neighbors helped them with all the stuff they needed.
Precisely. When they were in trouble, their neighbors looked out for them. Aditi, imagine a world where nobody cares for each other. Nobody looks out for each other. When a person sees another person's trouble, is in trouble, nobody goes out to help them. Won't such a world be a terrible place to live in?
Yeah. My father's words were indeed piercing. His examples hit closer to home, but I am a naive youngster from a different time. The meanings of the words in the Constitution have long since become a rhetoric for our generation. But I wonder, what would have been the understanding of common people in the olden days? How about 70 years back? What would they have talked about? Did they understand the Constitution? Did they feel hopeful about it?